Hey, this is Ihab. In this video, I'm going to talk about Greebles, and I'm going to be featuring some of my former students' work. And here is the agenda for the tutorial. This website here shows some interesting photos of the time where Greebles became famous in the movies of Star Wars. They took teeny tiny pieces of details and glued them on the spaceship to give a nice level of complexity and to give the impression that the scale of the ship is really big. Moving on to the types of Greebles, you have either the physical Greebles that could have been handmade or salvaged from bits and pieces that you may find in your house or garage, or maybe you can, if you want to create these things yourself and glue them on pieces like collage, you could buy things like toy cars or things like that where you get bits and pieces and cut them off and utilize them in that way. And this is the other type of Greebles, made in 3D. This is a kit or a library of those Greebles. And this is a library that I obtained from an online class that I took with the fabulous Jay Mikado. So in that class, we each created our own Greebles and then we pooled them together so we all have access to them. And this is a Greeble combination that I made out of those Greeble pieces from that pool from that class. So I took bits and pieces and put them together in a way that would have a new context. In some cases, you might want to create a house for those Greebles in a way that you provide a proper setting. So what I did was taking a bunch of these pieces and put them together in a way that they would have some sort of harmony and consistency in a way that they would just make a new combination. And then what I did was creating this plate like a house for those Greeble pieces and then put them together to give the impression that this is a piece of higher complexity that is more like a chip or something like that. But of course, because of the fact that it has a variety of scales, it gives a nice impression of large scale. The other thing that I like to also mention here is that with the combo, one of the successful things that can be implemented would be having a variety of levels. And by that I mean different heights. So you would notice that this one is the highest, and then you go like lower levels, lower, and even here I would house them in a way that there would always be some sort of like layering to them. Such a practice goes a long way to make the Greebles to feel believable, even though sometimes we have absolutely no idea what they do, but somehow they convey that believable feeling to them. So with that said, we have mainly two types of Greebles. One is handmade and the other is made in 3D. So if you put the two together, you may want to think about 3D printing technology. So technically you can create the Greebles in 3D and then 3D print them and apply them in the same way they used to be traditionally applied. So you can use the new technology with the old approach to have something on hand that is Greebled up.